What's up, everybody? Well, I have a rare opportunity to make videos, and I just want to say that although it is Cinco de Mayo, I'm unlikely to post this video on the day that I'm making it. So, happy Cinco de Mayo, late, whenever I post this. But what I'd like to talk about in this video is, let's see, something else that I got in, like something else that came in is this is from some kind of a modern Alice in Wonderland, and it came with the rare boy. One of them, let's see. Yeah, that boy right there. Let's see. It's an Alice in Wonderland set. This is a boy. It's Alice's bakery shop or something like that. And it comes with an Alice doll. She's like Alice in Wonderland, only a modern take on her. And actually, it has two Alice dolls, two versions of her. And there's the Mad Hatter, the only white male, and then this little girl, and then this cat. Basically, what I want to talk about is I also got some books in. You know, I used to have a collection of little golden books, but my mom got rid of them at a garage sale years ago when she decided to move. And so I got rid of all my little golden books, some of them in worse shape than others. The only ones I regret getting rid of are the Little Mermaid, which I could probably get another one. But I don't think I ever had Beauty and the Beast. And I think I may have had this Peter Pan and Wendy. So I got them used. And I've always wanted to have Pinocchio if I never did. And this is one I had bought at Walmart years ago, Two Princesses and a Baby, because it has my favorite character sneezing. Let's see. My favorite character appears in it, unlike some of the books. There he is, and he says different magic words. And what I want to talk about in this video, you know, my books, you know, I'm trying to sort of reclaim, how would you say, a new collection of little golden books that might be used, but I don't want to have it. I never want to have as big of a collection as I used to have. Like, they used to be, if I put them all together, they would at least go from here to here. And like I said, some of them were in bad shape. Some of them were taped together because I wore them out, like the Toodle book, you know. I already liked trains before there ever was Thomas the Tank Engine. You know, just a few of them. I may have even had a Dumbo book. But not really into animal characters. But what I want to talk about in this video, oh, and I was able to get it to generate a mermaid GI tract for Ariel, which I might include. But what I want to talk about is how books are just so much better than cartoons. Because, well, I would so much more recommend books for children. I mean, they were the original children's media. Cartoons are sort of a bastardization on books for children. That's what they really are. And so what I want to talk about is how, you know, I couldn't really put into words, you know, what I dislike about cartoons in general. But it's this. It's the lack of accountability that comes from people being able to hide behind a character. From people being able, you know, instead of real actors on a screen, you know, I mean, that's a loss of that's enough loss of accountability, when you can go by a different name that you're not known as in real life. But there's a lack of accountability that comes the further you are from whatever you're providing the voice of. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, if there was to make a cartoon character and it was a woman with brown hair, and I see even the sunglasses help me escape some accountability in the name Veronica. Well, if I were to voice a cartoon character that's basically myself animated, with brown hair and eyes, and the name I was born with, I would have a much more vested interest in not saying or doing embarrassing things than if I was to voice an animal or someone, now this is a little boy in real life, but someone of the opposite gender or a different race. And so the thing I dislike about animation, I was thinking about animation while I was at my mom's house and how I really just don't like it. Because I feel like it's just always been, I wouldn't say the most disgusting, but they've always been able to get away with things that live action couldn't. They've always been able to sort of push the limit of what can be shown on TV because of the fact that, it is animation. And especially when there are animals, I knew there was a reason I always disliked talking animals, because I feel like animals can say things that humans can't. Animals can be crude in ways that humans are not allowed to. And that's why I hate the fact that, male humans are so rare in a lot of girls' shows. But then when you look at the animals, that's where the balance comes in between the genders. That's where you see that the animals, like in Sophia the First, if anything, are predominantly male. And if they could transform into humans, then it would be roughly 50-50. You know what I'm saying? If Clover could become a human, if Wormwood could become a man, if the other animals could become humans, the dragons and all that, you would see that it's actually more male voice actors than actresses. You know what I'm saying? Or it's about half of the cast. You know what I'm saying? It's about 50-50 when you count the animals as human. And that's why I hate the fact that a lot of boys' cartoons and boys' shows, things actually meant to appeal to boys, the additional reason for this dearth of male dolls that has plagued me my whole life, that has bothered me my whole life, that there just aren't enough boys to go with the girls. It has bothered me because of the fact that little boys' shows, number one, they don't make a lot of dolls or action figures unless it's Spider-Man or Superman. And even those cover all or most of their body. Number two, a lot of the cute cartoons for boys are about talking animals, and that's exactly why. And I've just now figured that out as an adult. I knew as a kid that I did not like personified animals. I did not like it one bit. And I thought it was silly that they just assume all kids wanted to see talking animals, because I always hated it. Because, I know that I'll never get anything but meow from my cat, and that's awesome. That's all I ever want to hear from my cat. So, basically, I just don't like the talking animals also because I feel like that has always been a tactic that they've used to disguise a lot of crudeness as acceptable. You know what I'm saying? The fact that an animal, and in the case of Rugrats, they're supposed to be babies that can't talk to the adults. The fact that, someone or something that shouldn't be able to talk at all is saying it. The fact that it isn't coming from someone who could go to charm school or learn about manners is supposed to make crudeness acceptable that shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Animals can be rude and crude, like Spike talking about eating diapers and crap like that, which, my mom knew something instinctively, she knew instinctively something was wrong with that movie, and I should have just never watched it. But, I feel like cartoons are just awful because, I never liked them when I was in the target demographic. It was only when younger kids got me into them that I started watching them. But I feel like the lack of accountability, You know, the fact that they can disguise themselves, you know, as something they're not, allows for a lot of crudeness. So I will go ahead and post this video and say books are better than cartoons.